walk through everyday makeup tutorial. This is a requested video. I like for my brows to be defined, but not super defined. So usually I'll go back in with my brow brush again and just kind of brush
them a little bit more, because I feel like the beginning, I feel like the front part of this one is not really matching with this one. But yeah, these are my brows. And remember, your brows are sisters, not twins.
Right now, going up dirt, bro. It's looking bright now. Just on the pipe now, with the dick right now. But I can't fade, taking shots with the side down. Yeah, I could have died that day, but I guess I don't ride that.
However you want to draw your brows on, just draw them on that way. I mean, like a lot of people try to bash others for wearing their brows too thick or too thin or whatever. But at the end of the day, you're the one that has to wear them, so you wear what you feel confident in. First thing I do before I put any makeup on my face is wash my face and my hands, because you don't want to put makeup over dirt, because that's just nasty, okay? I put on chapstick, because you don't want to, like, I wear a lot of matte lips, and you don't want to wear a matte lip and your lips is crusty. So if you have like dry skin or anything on your lips, yeah, you want to go ahead and use a lip scrub, or you can use Vaseline and a toothbrush. But yeah, for today I'm using the Nivea A Kiss of Mint and Minerals lip balm. I like to put this on first because I feel like it works better if you just kind of let it soak in a little bit before you put on your lipstick, and my lipstick is usually the last thing that I do, so yeah. Next thing that you want to do is moisturize. Today I'm using the Tea Tree Skin Clearing Lotion. This is lasting me a long time. It helps to keep the oil at bay, and a lot of times I skip putting it on my forehead because I have a small forehead, but if you got a noggin on you, then you might want to put some moisturizer on your forehead. Just saying. Okay, the next step is a primer. You want to use a primer, if you have oily skin, you want to use a primer that will control oil. If you have dry skin, then you want to use a primer that is hydrating. If you have combination skin, like I do, which mainly I use primers for oily skin, but yeah, if you have combination skin, you can use two different primers on two different parts of your face. So sometimes I may use like an oil controlling primer here, and then on the outside where I'm dry, I'll use a hydrating primer. But for today, for the sake of this video, I'm just using Bare Minerals Primetime Primer. It is a silicone based primer. But yeah, you want to squeeze out just a little bit. You don't want to use too much. If you already have oily skin and you use a silicone based primer, you will turn into a oil slick. If you're using a primer that's for like deep pores or something like that, you don't want to rub the primer in, you want to pat it, because ultimately what you're trying to do is fill your pores, and I learned that the hard way. Get your foundation. Today I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation in the color 330, and it's Toffee Caramel. And this is a foundation for normal to oily skin, and yes, I do have oily skin. You always want to shake up your foundation before you use it, just so that the formula is mixed and you don't have like, yeah, you just want to make sure that your primer is mixed. Just like putting a Crystal Light packet in your water and you don't mix it, it's not gonna be the same. I have a beauty blender, but I don't know why I'm not using it in this video. I have this Sephora brand beauty blender. Honestly, I've used this one and I've used my beauty blender, and the Sephora brand beauty blender is the closest dupe that I have found. This is so soft, and I don't know, I just like it. So I just switch back and forth. When you're using a beauty blender or beauty sponge, whatever, you want to make sure that it's damp. Usually I'll just spray it with a little bit of water. Today I'm spraying it with the Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water. This is like a face spray and it's really hydrating. A lot of times I'll spray that on before I put my foundation on. It also works as a toner. I just put a little bit of foundation on the back of my hand, dip my beauty blender in there, and I just go in and start putting on my foundation. I usually put foundation on like over my eye so that I cover up like any veins that are on my eyelids, and you can also use that as kind of like a primer for your eyes. If you don't have an eye primer, you can just use a foundation or a concealer, but you always want to use an eye primer if you're really trying to accentuate your eyes, because it just works better that way. I just pat the foundation into my skin all over, like so. And for me, like around my mouth is like a problem area that I have. Usually I'll go in around that area again with my foundation. And And I do that just to make sure that all of my face is the same color. Even when I put on my foundation, it does tend to still be kind of darker around my mouth for some reason. I'm using this concealer. Then you want to blend that out with your beauty blender. Everything you do, it's me love, everything about you. And I usually do my chin, but I'm not gonna do that today. But you pretty much just put concealer, whatever area that you want to conceal or draw attention to or just brighten up. And I actually did this backwards because usually I put my concealer on after my eyeshadow, but we just gonna work with what we got for today. This is like a simple everyday makeup tutorial, like I said before. So I'm just using the Maybelline New York Stylish Smokes single eyeshadow in Nutmeg. And I have had this for like forever. And I'm just taking an IT Cosmetics brush. It has like a tapered end, and you want to use a tapered brush or fluffy brush to do the crease for your transition color, which goes here. Your transition color, you want to kind of bring it up a little bit, but as far as your crease, it's self-explanatory. It's this area. Today, I'm not really going to use a transition color since this is just a simple makeup look. I'm just taking this color right here, and I just showed you guys, and I'm putting it in my crease and bringing it up just a little bit more. And I'm just dragging it just to add some contrast to my eyes. Even if you use mascara or you use eyeliner or whatever, I feel like it just really makes your makeup look so much better if you'll just use like at least a crease color. Then it just kind of like defines the eye. And as you can see, it's not super dark, everyday look. It's not a smoky eye or anything like that. This is a look that you will want to go to if you're going to the grocery store maybe and you want to put on makeup. If you're just going to be out and about for the day and you want to look a little bit more put together. So I'm going to go in with this Lorac Unzipped palette. I'm going to use the color Unbelievable. I really like this foundation actually. Today's my first time trying this foundation. I like the way it photographs. I like the way it sits on my skin. Like it just looks really natural. It has a natural finish. It's not like super dewy or super matte. I feel like it makes my pores look a whole lot smaller. I'm just going to use like this little mini palette. I'm gonna use gold out of here, and that is going to be my lid color. Another tip, it's like a shimmer color and you want it to really pop. Spray your brush with like some water, or you can add like teardrops. And I'm just going to be putting this all over my lid, but I'm not gonna go all the way out to the corner, just kind of accentuating like the inner part of my eye.
Drive me at dessert, nothing to have you lurking. You make a like, now you don't like it. You know I dealt with you the nicest. Nobody touched me in the right.
I'm going back in with this brush and I'm just going to blend those colors together. I didn't add any more eyeshadow onto it because I'm just kind of trying to blend two colors together. Make sure that there's no harsh lines. I'm going to use the same brush that I used to do my concealer. Blend the color up to my brow. And there's like a little bit of product left from the concealer that's still on this brush, and I'm just using that to blend it out and make it look nice and clean. I am going to set my foundation, and actually I don't even feel like I need to set this with a powder because it just looks so good on my skin. And usually when I do videos, my foundation tends to get really oily and dewy, even if it's like a matte foundation. And I'm just using my good old faithful Almay eyeliners, the Almay Eye Intense and Black Pearl. Just a matte black eyeshadow, and I'm using it to set my eyeliner. The reason why you might want to set your eyeliner just so that it doesn't move, I'll take a really small smudger brush like this and dip it in the black eyeshadow, and I'll go over the eyeliner. My favorite mascara, it's the Urban Decay Cannonball Mascara.
Yeah.
And whenever you're applying mascara, so that it doesn't get all clumpy, you want to add one coat at a time. You want to apply a coat, let it dry, and apply another coat.
I probably don't want to add more than 2 coats because then it's just gonna look a hot mess.
I need you. When I see potential, I just gotta see it through.
Then for my second coat,
I would still choose you. I don't want to rush into it if it's too soon, but I know.
Yeah, it doesn't take long for mascara to dry. Usually by the time you do one eye, finish the other one, you can go ahead and go back in to the other side. The last and final thing. So I'm just gonna line my lips with the brown lip liner.
Rolling, rolling, rolling. How many more shots until you're rolling? We just need face to face. You can pick the time and the place. You will spend some time away. Now you need to forward and give me all.